Hey fellow Force users, what is up? It's Jasmine, the Ahsoka Tano fan. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So guys, it's time for an all new episode of The Bad Batch. So last week's episode was a good one. I really enjoyed it actually. We got to see the return of Fennec Shand, and I briefly got a chance to look at some of your comments and what your theories were regarding her and who she was speaking to at the end, who the client was. We talked about it last episode, and I had a few theories, including Ventress and Boba. I also questioned if it was someone within the Empire, like a Hemlock. I would say right now, my top two theories in terms of who she was speaking to at the end would have to be either Ventress or Boba Fett. I think that those two would make the most sense. Yeah, either way, the ending of the last episode was definitely a little bit mysterious. We were left wondering what exactly Fennec was planning. She did seem shady, but one of you pointed out as well that she maybe in fact didn't double cross the Bad Batch at all, and maybe that's just what we're made to believe based off of how that last episode ended. Oh my god, yo, I swear to god, this shit does not want to stay up. By the way, it should be interesting to see who that client was. I definitely think it's going to be an important person because they were teasing it a lot at the end there. But yeah, the rest of the episode was good. We saw some action with Hunter, Wrecker, and Fennec, and then we also saw Omega and Crosshair spend some more quality brother-sister time, which I loved. I've mentioned it time and time again, but I just adore their relationship. But I'm not gonna lie guys, I'm a little bit nervous because I just hope that they're not building up their relationship, and in particular Crosshair, only to have him killed off in the end. Because last season, I remember having a similar feeling about Tech. I think I commented on this in my videos that I loved his character development and his growth, and he was quickly becoming my favorite member of the Bad Batch, and then next thing you know, he ended up dying that season. So I hope it's not one of those cases with Crosshair. But anyways, for now we'll enjoy what they're giving us in terms of character development and all of these scenes. The episodes have been great so far, and I'm looking forward to seeing more. So anyways guys, without further ado, let's blast our way into episode 9 of the Bad Batch now and check out what's in store for us. Anyone notice that the Disney logo intro changed? The music's different and the logo is slightly different. Kind of cool. The Harbinger? Okay guys, am I tripping, or has anybody else not heard that word before either? I guess I'll be Google searching that after.
Thanks for the help, Crosshair.
Looks like he's fitting in well, Crosshair.
That, you made a new friend. Still no word from Fennec. If her contact can tell us what an M count is, we might figure out why the Empire's targeting Omega. Does it matter? We're not handing her over.
Interesting. They both have good points, right?
Betcha? What is it?
What happened? Did he hurt himself? Or sorry, did she hurt herself, or did she find something?
Okay, I'll check it out.
What are they gonna find in here, guys? Another creature or something?
Where did that come from?
That's a ship? Okay, that is really suspect. So someone's there?
Betcha, where are you going?
She's backing away. What? Look behind you, Omega. Oh my god, it's Ventress! Oh my gosh. So, okay, so then maybe she was the contact then that Fennec was speaking to. I don't know why, I didn't expect to see her so soon like this.
Go!
Hey!
Wow. I don't know why that scene reminded me of Maul's appearance in Rebels.
Gladly.
Wow, look at her.
Rogue clones who are trying to lay low. You're failing spectacularly.
Wow.
Fennec sent me.
Yeah, she was the one. So she knows about the M count, obviously.
I hear you've been asking questions about M count.
Oh my gosh, it's Ventress, guys. I can't get over it.
It attracts the wrong kind of attention. Tell me why you want this information. Either talk or I go.
It's for a friend. The Empire's after her, and she thinks it's because of some M-count experiment.
Half the truth.
Everyone has it, but at varying levels. Those with a high count were believed to be more capable of wielding the Force.
Oh, this is awesome, guys.
You're saying I'm a Jedi? I mean,
Of course not.
Oh, she ruined the lie. She broke her cover.
You'd have to be trained for that. And I've never known a clone to be Force sensitive. None of you are normal. No, like millions of you. So I suppose it's possible. But if you do have a high M count, the Empire will hunt you down.
She gave them a good amount of information.
I can't determine your midi-chlorian levels without testing you.
well, then test me.
The truth is rarely comforting.
That line's deep.
I need to know what I am.
Fine.
Oh my gosh, she looks so good, Ventress. I'm not used to seeing her in animation with the long hair, you know? Because in the Clone Wars, she was bald, except for in flashbacks. But in Dark Disciple, obviously she had the long hair, but just seeing her is like, wow.
How does standing on one leg have anything to do with M count?
Balance.
Stop trying to have balance.
Oh,
Let
never
go of
mind.
your conscious mind.
I don't even know what that means.
Come on, Omega! You can do it!
Oh, cheering her on like a proud dad.
And neither do you.
How fun for me.
Oh man.
You must be a Jedi, right?
No, but I know some of their ways.
Yup.
How do
Enough.
Guys, could we have a spin-off series with Ventress taking on Omega as her apprentice? Well, she's got it now.
You're right. It's her. Asajj Ventress.
They finally said her name.
Why would a separatist assassin be helping us? Who says that's what she's doing?
We're moving on to the next test.
I wonder what the next test is.
Retrieve one of its white blossoms and return before the sun sets.
It's too far away, and well, the sun's already started.
The look she gave her.
Whatever you're planning on doing won't end well for you.
Some foreshadowing there. Maybe she's warning them that their attachment to her will get them killed. Or potentially her killed.
I need to get to the Arcumen fast. Okay, let's go.
Smart thinking.
You asked me for my help, remember? Maybe I'll stick around here a bit longer.
Get in your ship and go before we make you.
You can try.
Yeah, exactly. I love you guys, but you don't stand a chance against her. No. Don't even try this, guys.
No cheating.
Oh, man. But when she said that, actually, so have I, it reminded me of when her and Ahsoka were fighting the clones, remember? When they were trying to arrest Ahsoka. Oh, man. Man. She caught that knife like it was nothing. Oh, man.
Tired yet?
What do you really want with Omega?
Maybe I'll take her off your hands.
Oh.
Not happening.
Oh, shoot. Crosshair just shot there. He's getting his aim back.
Stand down.
We're not big on following orders.
Oh, man. Meanwhile, Omega has no idea what's happening. Oh, she found it. Man, they're really trying to kill her. Oh. So they're who she was fighting then in the trailer.
I wasn't planning on killing you, but you're making it very tempting.
Wow, and the yellow blades. Oh, man.
I got the white blossom.
Oh, man, she's like, what's going on?
What's going on?
Yeah.
She's a war criminal.
Times have changed. Something you clones should be familiar with.
I know. I'm on Ventress' side here.
We were pawns in the same war, and we all lost. Empire is more dangerous than you could possibly fathom. I am not your enemy.
I love how she just let him know, you know? Like, she could have killed them, but she didn't because she's not that person. Just like them, she's an outcast now too, right?
If she's as bad as you say, then why didn't she kill you when she had the chance?
Hey, just what I was saying, guys.
Things are different now. People can change. I never gave up on you, did I?
Omega doing what she does best, guys. Continuing to be the glue in the group, giving people a chance, and always seeing the positive.
They must have told you all about the things I've done.
But you also stuck around instead of leaving. You like us. I can tell.
You're an odd little clone.
Thanks.
I
You failed the first one.
don't know if that was a compliment,
But I
Omega.
passed the second.
Master and Padawan.
Time for your final test.
Okay, what's the final test gonna be?
Stop smiling. It's unsettling.
She doesn't like her smiling. Don't kill
Many
me.
who wield the Force connect with things that respond to their energy. Close your eyes and reach out.
For what?
Everything.
Oh, Crosshair has his blaster raised.
How does she know we're watching?
The Force, Wrecker?
Giving up so soon.
This is probably in part how she was trained as well, in the ways of the Force.
3 overprotective shadows for your lack of training. Even if you have Force potential, they can't show you how to tap into it.
I bet you don't understand any of this either. Why should I listen to you?
Oh, she does. Is she gonna see an underwater creature, maybe? Yeah, so Ventress is doing that.
Why'd they go?
Oh, shoot. Maybe she didn't intend for that to happen.
Well, that doesn't look good. Get to the Marauder.
Damn.
Did you summon that?
Not intentional.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that was definitely not her intention. Man, they just can't catch a break, eh? Oh, their hair looks funny wet. Oh, shoot. Oh, crap. She's gonna have to probably use her lightsaber, yeah. It's not stopping.
Your friends are making things worse. I can do this on my own.
Oh no, did it just grab Ventress there though? Yeah.
Can handle it.
Doesn't look like it from up here.
Yeah, I know what you mean though, it really doesn't look like it. This is definitely gonna make Omega want to learn. If only they could do that for every creature they had encountered, you know? Why didn't Ventress come sooner? Aww. Is she gonna go with them? Or are they just bringing her back to the island?
That was pretty fun.
Ventress is looking at her like she's crazy. So what's she gonna do? Is she gonna stay with them?
Do I have a high M count?
No,
Why is the Empire after me?
I don't know everything. But seeing as how a high M count would make you a target, consider yourself lucky.
But I'm already a target.
We're gonna figure it out.
Thanks for trying.
She seems disappointed. Are they gonna thank her too?
Lying.
If Omega did have that potential, she'd have to be trained, which would mean leaving you behind.
It's kind of reminding me of the Mandalorian. Mando wanting to leave Grogu with Luke.
If I were you, I'd leave this place. You're not as safe as you think you are.
I still can't figure out what side you're on.
No side.
My own.
You're not worried about the Empire coming after you?
They can try. I've got a few lives left.
Okay. Damn, I hope we get to see her again, though. We have to see her again. But the Empire probably thinks she's dead, to be honest. Is that it? Okay. Alright, guys. We got a bit to break down from that episode. Okay, guys, so I really enjoyed that episode. I feel like I'm kind of saying that for every episode so far. Although it wasn't super action-packed and tons of things happened, there was actually a lot more that this episode gave us than we might realize from just watching it for the first time. So number one, I did Google the definition of the title of the episode. It's called Harbinger, and what that means is a person or something that signals the approach or appearance of another. And it also means something or someone that foreshadows a future event. And don't lie, I know I'm not the only one that did not know what that word meant initially, but hey, you learn something new every now and then, right? In this case, I can infer that Ventress was probably the Harbinger in this episode because she did drop some foreshadowing, I noticed. For example, she said things to the Bad Batch like, whatever you're planning, it won't end well for you. She also said that the Empire is more dangerous than you could fathom. She spoke about how if Omega did have a high M count, her ability to unlock that potential is being hindered by the Bad Batch. Just certain lines like that she would say that definitely came across as foreshadowing of things to come. So I would definitely say the title applies to her. The only other possibility would be Fennec potentially being the Harbinger because she's the one that signaled or led to the appearance of Ventress appearing in the episode. Alright, so more into the episode now. So we finally got to see Ventress. Finally. I've been anticipating her arrival, as you guys probably know. I had a few theories in mind. Most recently, my guess was Fennec's client was either Ventress or Boba. Those were my two main guesses that I kind of narrowed down that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. But initially, my theory with Ventress was that she was one of the specimens the Empire was experimenting on for the whole M count thing. But now we know that's not the case. She has in fact been kind of working as a bounty hunter somewhat, and she had contact with Fennec, and then thus we see her appear in this episode. I just realized too, probably what makes her and Fennec get along well is that they both work for themselves. They're both on their own side. Crosshair said at the end of the episode, I still can't figure out what side you're on or whose side you're on, and she said my own. So perhaps that's what makes her and Fennec kind of relate to one another. But yeah, so we saw her appear in the episode. She had her yellow blades, which is the first time we've seen her in animation with the yellow blades. She had these blades in Dark Disciple, but obviously when we saw her in the Clone Wars, she had red blades, but they were taken by Barriss. So yeah, it was cool seeing her with new blades and an overall new look. And actually her appearance this episode reminded me of Maul and Ezra's first time meeting in Rebels. They both kind of emerged out of the shadows, you'll notice, and they both were a little bit sketchy. That's significant because if you look at Maul and Ventress, both characters are kind of characters that have been living as outcasts in the shadows for a long period of time. Even in this episode, you'll notice with the lighting, Ventress is either standing in the shadows in the darkness, or she's standing in between the sunlight and the shadows, or when she's out in the water, it's cloudy. So you never fully see her in the light, or at least not to what I can remember in the episode. If the writers did that on purpose, that's pretty brilliant. That speaks to who she is as a character. She's neither fully dark or fully light. She's somewhere in between. She's definitely one of the gray characters in the Star Wars universe. And that's one of the reasons as well why I didn't really quite understand why the Bad Batch were judging her in the way that they did. They definitely seemed skeptical of her intentions, I guess, which I kind of agree to a certain extent, but they're both the same. You'll recall a few episodes back this season when the Bad Batch encountered young clones, the clones immediately thought that they work for the Empire. And I believe it was Wrecker who said to the young clone, "Do we look like we work for the Empire?" So people always judge them in a certain way, but they're outcasts. They're working for themselves, doing whatever it takes to survive. So I just kind of find it interesting that they would be so quick to judge Ventress in the way that they did, because they're both in similar positions, right? But perhaps it is because of Omega, their desire to protect her. They're just kind of hesitant of anybody's intentions with her, especially given that she was taken by the Empire not long ago and she continues to be a target. And then we did see them fight in this episode as well. But the good thing is, at least that gave us some action. You know, I'll never say no to some action, especially action that's involved involving lightsabers, so that was an enjoyable scene. That fight was definitely realistic and believable because Ventress is force sensitive. Normally when a man and a woman are fighting, obviously we're not equal strength, right? So you wouldn't really consider it realistic normally to have one woman holding her own against 3 men like that. But in Ventress's case, she is force sensitive, so she is, I would consider stronger than the Bad Batch. So it was believable in that sense. But on a side note, I will say that I wouldn't mind some scenes with the Bad Batch also kind of kicking ass. Maybe not necessarily against Ventress, but in one of the upcoming episodes, I would kind of like to see them go off against somebody and really showcase their skills, because they are a strong bunch, but I feel like they've been getting screwed over a lot. Them getting screwed over by Civ. Even in the last episode, they were kind of getting beaten up by that guy, and now they're getting beaten up by Ventress. I just kind of want to see them have some badass moments and some good luck as well. I love the interaction between Ventress and Omega, and guys, as I mentioned in my reaction, I would love to see a little spin-off series with them as master and apprentice, maybe. Who knows if that would ever happen, but I did like seeing that dynamic between the two of them. Omega again was just doing her thing, being positive as she always is. Even by the end of the episode, when she asked Ventress how she did with her tests, Ventress said, "You failed one," and then Omega said, "But I also passed one." It's a reminder of what her mindset is like, which is always positive. I like how Omega was tasked to retrieve that one white flower amongst all the other flowers, which I believe were red, if I remember correctly. I wonder if it's symbolic in a way of her character and who she is, the fact that she is different compared to other people, and more specifically compared to other clones. I like the training or the test that Ventress put her through. It definitely reminded me of Yoda and Luke, and also Grogu and Luke. I mentioned this during my reaction as well, but even the whole talk of Ventress letting Omega know that if she did have any type of force potential, the Bad Batch wouldn't be able to help her look into it. That was kind of the concern that Mando had for Grogu. He ended up handing him over to Luke so that he could actually unlock his true potential. But then of course Grogu ended up coming back to Mando anyway. But that part kind of reminded me of the Mandalorian and the decision that Mando had to make at that time. During one of the tests, the one where they were on the boat, you'll notice that Ventress reached out with the Force, and at first she attracted these fish. It looked to be fish-like creatures, and everything was good, everything was peaceful, and then she attracted unintentionally that creature that almost caused them some problems. She was able to calm the creature down by the end, but I really think that was meant to tell us in a way that when it comes to the Force, it can bring you peace and attract peace, but also sometimes it can attract unwanted attention and danger, which is the case with the Empire, right? You may use the Force for good and to help people, and in so doing put a target on your back, and that's what happened with Ahsoka as well. They kind of changed it in Tales of the Jedi, but in the novel, Ahsoka used the Force to save some people, and then it ended up putting a target on her back and alerting the Empire to the presence of a potential Jedi where she was hiding out. The question I do have with Ventress was regarding the whole M count thing. I wonder if she was lying to Omega. The thought hadn't really crossed my mind until the Bad Batch questioned her about it towards the end. I believe it was Crosshair who questioned her about it. Is it true that Omega does not have a high M count? Or does she potentially have a high M count, but Ventress just doesn't want her to know that because she doesn't want her to have any more of a target on her back than she already has? If she were to have a high M count, that would make her even more similar to Grogu, because Grogu was being experimented on as well because of his high M count. But at the same time, according to Emery and what we saw happen on Tantus, Omega's blood supported a transfer of a high M count without any degradation to the original specimen's blood. But that in itself doesn't necessarily mean she has a high M count. We obviously know what the Empire's plan is in the long term, which is for Palpatine to clone himself, and it looks like Omega could potentially be used as a stepping stone towards that goal. But yeah, I don't know if that necessarily means she's force sensitive. If she were to be force sensitive though, that would definitely be a game changer. That's something that we kind of wondered from the start of the series. Overall, I really did like their interaction, Ventress and Omega, and I love Ventress's sarcasm as well. That's something that she has always had. And there was one time where she even asked Omega to stop smiling because it was unsettling. That was kind of funny. Yeah, again, I think that if there's anybody that could soften Ventress up, it would probably be Omega. In the off chance that she is lying about the M count thing or not telling Omega the full story, it would probably be to protect her, and if that were the case, that would show that Ventress does care about her safety to a certain degree despite not knowing her that much. But yeah, guys, I do wonder if we are going to see Ventress again. She did kind of drop hints to her past life and Dark Disciple. She seemingly met her fate at the hands of Count Dooku, but then now she's back, so obviously she survives somehow. But she says little things throughout the episode that hint at her past life. She talks about how they were pawns in the same war. Even the training she was giving Omega, you know that she had to learn that from someone else, so probably Dooku, or maybe even her master before then. And then at the end, when they ask her if she's concerned the Empire will come after her, she said something like, they can try, but I have a few lives left, which implies that she's lived many lives before. And that actually leads me to wonder if the Empire thinks that she's dead. If she was believed to have died at the hands of Count Dooku, maybe they don't know that she actually in fact survived, and maybe she's able to use that to her advantage and continue to live in the shadows. But either way, I hope that that's not the last we've seen of her. I have a feeling it's not. I would like to see more of her and also have more answers in terms of how she survived and what happened between the events of Dark Disciple and now. So hopefully in the future we're able to get those questions answered. But yeah, guys, overall, really enjoyable episode. You guys let me know, as always, down below in the comments what you thought of the episode and what you're looking forward to for next week's episode. And also, guys, now that Ventress is not the specimen, which was one of my earlier theories, the question still remains, who are the specimens that the Empire is experimenting on? Are they going to just be unnamed specimens, or are the specimens going to be anybody that we already know? Are we going to actually see the specimens eventually? These are just kind of some lingering questions that I have. And as always, guys, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you next week for an all new episode of The Bad Batch. Until next time, guys, take care and see you soon.